Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful evening with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn, and I have another astronumerical colleague with me who will be on in just a moment. And I do want to thank her and everybody very, very much for joining today. Actually, what's interesting, March is over. This is a wrap. Okay, this is it. In other words, in 2025, this will be the last time this March will ever occur in the history of time. So tomorrow starts on April 1st. It'll be a whole new energy numerically. I'll talk about the newsletter right now, in fact, later on, because the newsletter has been distributed for April. Then you can hear the forecast tomorrow evening at about 9 o'clock if you want to hear the audio version. But before I bring on my very distinguished guest, I want to let you know that sponsor today is UJuice, and you go to their website that you see there. It's authentically Caribbean in every sense of the word, and it's Levitt Store, LIVETSTORE.com to order your products. Me, I favor the one that's on the left. That's that passion. Maybe I like purple too, but that's one of my favorites right there. And when these beverages or juices are cold, they are absolutely good. They're sugar-free. There is no GMO, all that other stuff. Also, another sponsor is Nicholas Brooklyn. They're now celebrating over 50 years in business at 1396 Fulton Street there on Fulton in Brooklyn, New York City. And this Saturday, they're going to be presenting Queen of Four. I've been knowing Queen of Four since the 80s, actually, when I had her as a guest on my show with her and Phil Valentine. But she's going to be featured with her products and things of that nature, so it's going to be good. Also, the sponsor is Miss Kimberly of Manifest on Purpose, her podcast, and you can always go to KIMBALEY_ to see her podcast, and she is now doing and focusing on business from an astronumerical point of view. So for those of you who have business owners, when she was on my show, y'all were expressing interest in having a business and things of that nature. And it's so interesting that many of the businesses y'all were talking about related to the numbers. So for those of you who want to do that, please reach out to her. Also, my guest, who is on Numeralytics, who is my brand new sponsor. And I do thank her very much. But before we do this, let me do the forecast for today. It is Monday, March the 31st. The sun is in Aries. The moon is in the fixed sign of Taurus. It's a 3 universal month, a 7 universal week, a 7 universal day. So Cancers and Pisces, or anybody born on the 2nd or the 7th, the 11th or the 16th, the 20th, such as my guest, the 25th, 29th, and no, not the 31st. I always kind of... anyway, but those who are born on these months and days, this is their day. So without further ado, hold on, let me get this straight. And I do want to thank you all very much for joining the Live with Lloyd family. I'm coming up with something later this month, and I'll be telling you more about it, because there are so many people that will call in, get readings that I don't have time. So I'm going to come up with something I think that's very unique towards the end of the month. But so now that I've got that out the way, I need to bring on my guest. Whoops, that's not it. Okay, let's see. Whoops, there we go. Hey, Queen Bee, how you doing?
Hi, Lloyd. Hi, Lloyd. Peace and love, kings and queens, up to the Live with Lloyd family, of course. To you, Lloyd, and of course to our beautiful moderator, Jazz. Peace and love to everybody. Thank you.
And she's a Taurus too. Okay.
Now, yeah.
This is the last day of Women's Month, and you always say kings up. I mean, queens up, kings up. How did you become known as Queen Bee? I know you're Leo, so Leo's at the top of the ladder anyway. So maybe that's it. Tell us how you got the name. How'd you start the name? And how long have you had the name?
So I've had the name for a long time, probably since probably about around 2016, the last 9 universal year, when I actually started BTV, is when I came up with that name. I've always, my name was Taylor. It's Taylor B, actually. That was the moniker that I was going by, Taylor B. And then it kind of metamorphosized throughout the years and throughout everything, experiences and different things like that. And then how I got to the queen part, we always call each other queen and king in my vocabulary. I know
Yeah.
people don't always talk like that, but that's something that, through reading and just knowing our history, I always refer to myself as that. But what's more interesting is, as my journey in BTV, I did my genealogy, and I got back to my maternal great great grandmother. Her
Mm-hmm.
first name was Queen.
Interesting.
I looked her up. I did my genealogy. I went through the census, and all of her records, that was her name. I got her marriage certificate when she married my great great grandfather, and I got census records and all of that stuff. So her name was Queen. So when I saw that, it just was a no brainer for me that Queen B. Queen was my name, and a lot of people just call me Queen. They don't even call me Queen B. They just call me Queen. But Queen B, Queen. But that's how I got the name.
Well, then, because one of the things I notice about you, when you have Queen Bee TV,
Hmm.
or now it's Numeralytics Biz. In fact, we're going to be talking about some of those things later that you do.
Yes.
Um, had you always been conscious about the community? Because that's what it seems to be about. The direction of your podcast is raising people's consciousness in the community.
Yeah, so BTV is exactly that. You guys can see the shirt. It says Black Education Empowers True Vision. And that's just what BTV stands for. And I started that again. I started that in 2016. And I know for most that was a non-universal year, but I'm a personal year factor one. So that was a one personal year for me. So I'm always in that lockstep with that 9-1 up cycle. So in that year for me, it's inventive. It's for me to kind of step out on my own. In the last cycle, I don't know, something was just telling me I need to come up with something. I didn't like the way we were being portrayed in the media, whether it was through entertainment, politics, all 9 areas of activity, really. I didn't like the way we were being portrayed, and then especially through entertainment. So I'm like, well, what if I do my own platform on YouTube? And I call it, BTV. Um, and that's what I did. I started the platform, and it started out with a lot of different things. We had like different mini series, which is really that same thing now. It just kind of evolved into the shows that I'm doing now. And I'm very versatile. I have a lot of fives in my name, as you pointed out earlier when we were talking.
Mm-hmm.
So I like a lot of different things. So I bring a lot of different things to the platform. So yeah, and that's how it started. And I just wanted to be the change that I wanted to see, like in show us in a more positive light, and to really just give people a more positive image of melanated people.
Well, one of the things you're going to be featuring this week, I'm going to put emphasis on Wednesday, but since it's the last day of Women's Day, you're going to be featuring this very dynamic woman here, which is what, and who is she?
Dr. Frances Cress Welsing,
That's
and
right.
she is amazing. She's actually one of the main driving forces behind everything that I really do at BTV. Her and Neely Fuller Jr. may both of them rest in peace. And I actually just did a Numbers Matter on both of them, where I featured a dynamic duo, which I'll be doing on Numbers Matter. So I kind of compared them two as a dynamic duo. But now we're going to be going a little bit more in depth and really breaking down the great Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Her birthday was just a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
on
So we
March
just
15th.
March 18th, yeah. So we really just want to honor her and just show, through her numbers, and this is what I do on Numbers Matter, showing why numbers matter, right? Showing through the patterns, showing through, what numbers are the guiding force that kept showing up throughout her life. So that's what we do. And it kind of helps people to see, hey, something, it's also giving you education on her work. Because I'll be talking about her work and, showing some clips of, her various interviews. So it kind of combines the best of both worlds, is what I've kind of done with that
Well,
with that show right
let
there.
me say this, and this irony. Frances Cress Welsing, born on the 18th. You know, you have a lot of recordings of Malcolm X. You got a lot of recordings of Dr. Martin Luther King, some old recordings of Marcus Messiah Garvey. You rarely have recordings of women. Well, there is a gentleman in Washington, D.C., and pick up on this, Queen Bee. His name is Danny Queen. Okay. Notice that his last name is a Queen. He has about over 1,000 hours of recordings of this woman.
Oh wow. Yeah, I think I saw him on YouTube. I've seen some of his YouTube.
And I had him as a guest on my show. And what I'm saying is she talked about in his recordings, she had talked about how up the road, this was about maybe 20, 30 years ago, that the way they're directing it, that boys are going to want to wear dresses. I mean, it's just,
they prophesized it.
You got to hear these things. So it's very expensive, but if you can get a hold of Danny Queen there in DC and pick up her copies for decades, he had actually each and every meeting day, I think it was on a Thursday or something like that, would actually record her. He also recorded Neely Fuller too, and also all the other greats. So I just think it's interesting. So anyway, so what we're going to do today is, and by the way, you have developed a chart. Can you explain this chart, please?
Sure. So this is a keys chart. And the way I like to explain a keys chart is how would you feel if you woke up tomorrow morning and you went out to leave and you didn't have your car keys, but say you had your mom's keys or your husband's keys. You wouldn't get very far. So it's the same concept with this. These are your numerology keys. And they seem like they're very basic information, and it can be looked at that way, but it's actually a very in-depth roadmap to you to start tapping into your energy, getting in tune with your own individual frequency, understanding your astronumeric descriptor, understanding the planets that govern your numbers in your chart, understanding your best days, your key numbers, you know, your key periods, all of that kind of stuff. And it really just puts you an advantage. It's a guide for you to really, you know, you can hold on to it in your pocket, in your phone, or you can print this out and put it in your room or put it in your office. So it's a very beautiful chart, also aesthetically. So, and it's very in depth, and it comes with a nice 3 to 4 page write up, depending on who you are. You know, with instructions and also, you know, availability to my moon line for any questions afterwards. It also comes with a recorded reading. So we'll do a recorded reading so that you can access anytime.
And at the end of this broadcast this evening, you are offering a 20% discount. So for those that do want to get their keys chart, and because this is for a person obviously born on January the 26th, wasn't Neely Fuller somewhere in January?
Neely Fuller was born October 6th.
Oh, that's right. He's the Libra.
Yeah, he's a Libra 6.
That's interesting because with Frances Cress Welsing, she was born March 18th, so her numbers are the 9, 3, and 6. His numbers are the 6, 9, and 3. So they
exactly.
That's to explain why they were very tight. Once they hooked up, they just like to death do them part in that sense.
Right. And if you guys go to Numeralytics, Jazz just put it in the chat. You can check the dynamic duo out that we did with Neely Fuller and Frances Cress Welsing. It actually goes over that their numbers are like kind of inverted like that. And it really shows the dynamics of their relationship and why they were really meant and fated to meet each other. And, you know, at the time that they did, which, you know, Neely Fuller's work that he was doing really put Frances Cress Welsing on her determined path of looking at everything that she was looking at, but really condensing it to what the underlying cause is. And that was, you know, racism, obviously.
Yeah. And those 9 critical points and sexism, you know, entertainment, culture.
Yeah, the nine areas of activity. And actually, Lloyd, through my show, I've added on to that to the 11 areas of activity because I am a 2. So, you know, I had to add 2 more areas. So the areas are education, economics, labor, law, politics, war, race, sex, and then health and agriculture are some notable add-ons. that those are all areas of activity where injustice is happening really globally in our society.
Wow. Hold on. I just saw something here. Let me see. Somebody just said they had a session with you. Hold on. Did I do this? I think I went to.
Oh, yeah, I see that person.
Yeah, she said that she had a reading with you. Okay. Anyway, we'll get to it. We're gonna
Yeah, we'll get to them.
now.
And Lloyd, I wanted to tell you too, because you were asking about the queen thing.
Yes.
So you said you always notice when I say queens up and kings up. So I just want to explain to the family what that means. So back in, I want to say it was probably around 2017-ish time frame. I was well into BTV. I was a year in, and I was really getting to see the way that things were being handled in the industry, through working with a lot of different artists and different things like that. And I noticed that, not that I didn't notice it before, but you notice it more when you're kind of thrust into the industry.
Mm-hmm,
So I noticed that a lot of the women were always pitted against each other. It's like it's only could be one woman out of the crew or out of the bunch, or one female rapper on the top. And it's not like that for the men. Men have their own other set of challenges when it comes to that kind of stuff. But for the women, that's what it was. It's always a competition. And I wanted to really show women that it's not a competition between us. All of us are beautiful flowers, and we all light the world with our own beauty and our own wisdom. And so that's what Queens Up means. Queens Up means queens understand power. Queens understand their position. So not only do they understand their power within the sisterhood, within the queendom, with each other, and knowing how to respect, uplift, love, and empower and support each other. That's the royalty rules that I have. But
I like how
also
you put
to
that royalty rules. I
yeah,
like
but
how you put
also to understand their position within the Black family, within the household, um, to be a supportive person in the family, to be respectful with their family, to raise good children and put good values in them. So it's really just understanding your purpose and your position and your power, and that's what the up stands for: understanding purpose, position, and power. So I say queens up and kings up. That's a term of endearment. It's a salute to everyone to let them know, hey, we are kings and queens, and we can have a different dynamic of how we interact with each other. So that's what queens and kings up means. And it all rests on those royalty rules that you respect, uplift, love, empower, and support one another.
This person says, yep, I just checked that video out that you just sent about her and Neely Fuller Jr. being a dynamic duo. Good. Thanks, Cool Colas.
That's my brother. I want you guys, everyone, to go follow Cool Colas. He is really a dope brother. He's an author, and he has a great platform. He just came out with a new book. So he is a dope brother. So make sure you guys go follow the king and hit him up. Very dope brother. In the comic books and breaking down media tropes and showing us the racism in entertainment. That's his specialty without botching it up for him. But that's my boy. Salute. King's up to you, bro. Thank you for coming through.
One of the things I love about my moderator on Mondays and Wednesdays, but Jazz Aphrodite always makes sure that whoever the guest is, I don't know how she does it. All I know is she's good. That's all I'll give her.
Jazz is the best, and I'll tell you how she does it, because she's a number two. So number twos are always on top of everything. We don't miss a beat. We're
That's right.
analyzers.
You're born on the 20th, and she's born on the 20th.
We're analyzers. We detail oriented. So I'm not surprised by that at all with Jazz.
Okay. And Sharon West, that's one of my favorites. She's just saying hi to us and stuff. Okay. Now,
Queens up, Shawan.
Oh, now this is what I saw from Miss Carolina. I had the pleasure of having a session with B, and wow, my mind was blown. I reckon my entire family have a reading. Okay, good. Yes. See, it's better than me saying it or you saying it, because they'll say, of course you're gonna say that, Lloyd. Of course you're gonna say that about
Lloyd, I'm the best. Everyone needs to come to me. I'm joking.
No, you're a Leo, so that might be partially true. No, Leos have good, but you know what? Regardless of the sign, basically we should all have a good sense of ourselves. But you had mentioned earlier that part of the structure especially in our community and really around the world, is always divide and conquer.
Yes.
Ethiopia used to be Ethiopia, then came the settlers, and then it became Ethiopia and Eritrea when it's all one.
Right.
Okay. If you look at a person from Ethiopia or Eritrea, they're the same.
Right.
You know, in terms of the looks, especially the women, they always have similar eyes. The men have a similar shape of head and whatnot. So that has been destructive. And then, as you know, in our community, light skin, dark skin, all those kinds of things. Even the Martin Lawrence show, there was a play on that. His wife was light skinned, and who he's always bickering with, the dark skinned sister. You know, all that was by design. That was by design to help each other. But we all in this, y'all are all beautiful women. And the beautiful thing about people of color, we come in every shade, from the light to the darkest. Okay? Every shade you can name. We're the most, I think our women are the most beautiful on the planet. Of course, if they sound like I'm partial, I think I know what I'm talking about. I had a beautiful mom, so that's how I was raised. Now, since we have people, somebody said you also predicted Trump would be president before she also predicted Trump would be the president before she died. I guess he's referring to Frances Cress Welsing.
I think he is referring to her, but I also predicted that he would be president on one of my shows too.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I think he is talking about Dr. Frances Cress Welsing.
Okay. Well, you know, naturally, Jazz had the time and says exactly, Queen Bee. Please pay attention to details, because it's 2 to the 10th power. It's not just a 2. Right. It's 2 multiplied by 10. So that takes it to a whole nother level. Now, other than the birthdays, we're gonna run through some of these, and let me go back a bit, because some people have given their birthdays, and I know you're very detailed, but we said that we're gonna kind of like put a little tease on it just a second. And one of the first ones was Jacqueline Christmas, who was born on January the 1st of 1966. What would you say about her in a brief way?
In a brief way, I would say she's a Capricorn 1 person. So she is an earth sign with a fire number. That makes her like a steadfast pragmatist, also very passionate and proactive. I call that like a steady, stable, passionate discipline. So I would say that about her. I would say that she is in a 2 personal year this year. So I would tell her to make sure that she's being patient and understanding of other people. Use tact in everything that she's doing. She's a 1, so usually she's probably maybe a little forceful, because 1s have that about them. But she's in a 2 personal year, and 2 is in opposition to the 9 universal year that we're in. So people may be trying to test her patience and all that. So it would do her best to just be patient, use tact, and you know, don't get too hot under the collar with that fire and that 1. And also I would tell her that her key days, or her key numbers, we'll give her her key numbers, would be the 1, 4. We're not going to give her that 8. We're giving her the 1, 4, and 9. And that means her key days would be a Sunday and a Tuesday.
She's a Capricorn.
She's a Capricorn. Well, 1, 4, and 8, but I tend, you know, we'll give her the 1, 4, 8. The 4 and the 8 can sometimes be testy. So she is a 1, 4, 8. So that means her key days are going to be a Sunday and a Saturday.
How did you wind up with 1, 4, and 9?
Well, I gave her the 9 because 1s and 9s get along really well. True. And the 4 and the 8 they can have fatalistic results. But those are her original key numbers, because she is a Capricorn, and that is the period of the 8. So we'll give her her true numbers. I would just tell her just to watch out for that combination. If she notices any type of fatal activities, you know, I would maybe, you know, stick with the Sunday, stick with the 1 and the 4.
Okay.
That's what I would say for her.
Now, this is Dana Cooper. She has a birthday coming up on, I think it's Friday. No, it's Saturday, I think, because tomorrow is the 1st. So if I'm not mistaken, it is on Friday. Yeah, because the Queen of Pooh is out in Brooklyn. That's on the 5th. So we want to thank you, Dana, from the Live with Lloyd family. Happy birthday coming up around the corner. So what say you about her?
I would say, Dana, happy birthday to you. You are an Aries 5 person. So you are a fire sign with an air number. That's one of the more favorable combinations with the elements. I also would say that you are in a 9 personal year. So, you're in lockstep with the universe. Those people who are in the 9 personal year, when we're in the 9 universal year, there are 9 personal year factor. Those people really have all the universal energy right behind them. So she's always in lockstep with whatever the universal energy is. That's what her personal energy is. So this might be a year that she may be looking to end things. She may be transforming her business to something to a more universal level. Or it could just be her cycle ending, and she may be manifesting some of the things that she did 1 through 8.
Okay, good,
Mhm.
good.
And you said which she was April 5th. Should we let's give her her key numbers. So
Yes.
she April 5th, so her key numbers are going to be the 5, 9, and 6.
Okay, good. And I
Yep.
guess she has
Her,
days assigned to them too.
yeah, her key days are going to be Wednesday, Tuesday, and Friday.
Okay. Now there's a queen B, but obviously there's a queen D.
Hey, Queen D. Peace, Queen.
You know this person?
I do not know that person, but what's so funny about that, and this just shows you how energy is like that. It just kind of it has a magnet to each other. Because when I was little, my actual nickname was Dee Dee because my dad called me Lily, but my niece couldn't say Lily, so she could only say Dee Dee. So they used to call me Aunt Dee Dee, and then that turned into Dee Dee Ross, like for Diana Ross. So it just turned into a lot of different names, but they actually call me Dee Dee in my family. All my nieces and nephews call me Dee Dee. So that's
Well, it's things like that, which is how children get nicknames from brothers and sisters, because they can't get it, but they're doing the best they can. You know what I'm
telling all
saying?
my business. Thank
Okay.
you, Hukola.
So let's see who we got here. This is Key Love. Um, she's one
Peace,
of our regulars.
Queen.
I thank her very, very much.
Yeah,
And
Queen's up, Queen.
Dominic says the most beautiful, most definitely. Yes, our ladies are the most beautiful. There's no question. There's no
Thank
question.
you. Yep.
I mean, you can go to other parts of the world, and I'm sure, but there is something about our women that's just like.
Yep.
And I had a guest on a couple of months ago, no, about a couple of weeks ago, and she was looking at a survey, and she says the two cultural things that are on the list was Asian men and Black women.
Oh, really?
And I'm trying to figure out, okay, who tried to sell somebody a bill of goods, But anyway,
Yeah.
then we have Bake 215. There, she's born February. I don't know whether it's a he or she. I always assume it's a she. February the 15th, 1995.
All right. So you are in an 8 personal year. I love 8 personal years. I call 8 person, and you're a 6 person. So this is a great year for you. It's a pregnancy cycle. It's a harvest cycle. 8 personal years. I call them your bounce back year because throughout your cycle, the last 2 cycles that you just came out of, 6 and 7, they were both kind of out cycles, especially 7, where you were kind of introspective and really like into yourself. 8 is your bounce back year, honey. This is your power year. This is your year to go for what you know with your career. Rise to the top, get that recognition, get that director's position. It's a number of finance, then romance. So there could be a lot of births, pregnancies, different things for you this year. So I say go for it. It's your power year, and don't waste this 8 year. And whatever you put in work wise 1 through 7 is you're reaping it in this 8 years. So hopefully you've planned well and you're reaping the rewards of this 8 personal year so far. And with that February 15th, you look like you're an Aquarius 6 to me. So that is an air sign with an earth number. So you are, intellectual thinking, very steadfast pragmatist, So those are really great qualities to have. And with your 15, your key numbers are going to be you are oh, this is a tough one, Lloyd. Let me let me
No,
get
you
the
got
more.
it. You got it. I believe in you.
I
You
got
got it. You got it. Go ahead, Queen. What's her main
all
number?
right. This is going to be the 6. Your key numbers are the 6, 2, and 7.
See?
Um, and your and
There
your
you
key days are going to be Friday and Monday.
Now, remember we were talking about Queen D, right?
Mhm.
Look at her birthday.
Wow.
She's
See
born
the
on the 20th.
Yes, the energy doesn't lie, and this is what I talk about on the show, why numbers matter. You really do, attract your individual frequency. When you don't know who they are and what your frequency is, once you know that, and then you start like looking at your friends, you're like, oh wow, you're born on this. You start to see the patterns and the people that are in your lives. So this is why numbers matter. So with Queen D, she is June 20th. So she's right on the cusp. She's right on the
Mhm,
cusp. But
mhm.
I think she's a Gemini. I would give this a Gemini still. Would you, Lloyd?
That's
I
my
don't think.
sense. That's the same
Yeah,
as Lionel Richie. Yes, I
yeah,
would
this
consider
is
him
a
more of
Gemini.
a Gemini. Yeah.
So you're a Gemini 2 person. That's an air sign with a water number. That's intellectual thinking, intuitive analyzer. So very good. You're also in an 8 personal year. So the same advice that I just gave that last person, go for it. You've been down the last couple of years, maybe. This is your year to really go for what you know, invest in that stock. Um, you know, um, Also, this is a year that you might be dealing with older people. It's ancestral year, and different things like that. So it's a good time for you to get in tune with all of that stuff. And it's a finance year, it's a power year. So make sure you go for it, Queen D. And then your key numbers, let's give you those. Those are going to be the 2, 7, and 5. And
Okay.
your key days are always going to be on the Monday and a Wednesday.
All righty. This is a 10-10 person.
A Libra 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so a 10-10 person, you are actually in a 2 personal year right now. So again, kind of slow, kind of steady. Things may feel like they're not moving, but whatever seeds you planted last year in your 1 personal year, they're germinating this year. So be steadfast in knowing that whatever you planted is working out, and do things that you need to do to fill in the small details to make sure that thing meets the requirements that it needs to meet. So when you get next year to your 3 personal year, it can expand and grow. And so you are a Libra 1 person. Um, your key numbers are going to be the 1, 4, and 9. And your key days are going to be Sunday and Tuesday.
All right. Perfect. Now look at this birthday. Look at all those nines in the birthday.
Oh, wow.
And yet
All
they're a
those,
Cancer. They have
and
9 days
you're,
after
and you're a 2 person.
they're what now?
And they're a 2 person. They're
Yeah.
11. They're
They're
going
9
on.
days after Queen D. She was born on the 20th, which is like the last stages of Gemini, but this
Yep.
one is dead fast into Cancer.
Yeah.
What do you say about Aman, who's a Cancer? How would you describe him?
I would describe him really, and he's a man. So, men that are 2 people, somebody once taught me that, women are their gift and their curse. So, and also you're that 29 that can denote strife and grief with the opposite sex. But, on the bright side, you're very sensitive, gentle, imaginative, intuitive type of person. You're really a master number 11 with that 29. So you may receive spiritual downloads, also being in the Cancer sign. So you have a lot of water running through your name. You're all water. Your water sign, water number. That just tells me you're receptive, analytical, intuitive, visionary. That's how I would kind of describe you. So really make sure you get to it, and let's see what personal year they're in. Uh, 6, 5, 1, 36. Is that a 9?
What? The
I
personal
think they're
year?
in a 9 personal year. Yeah,
No.
unless I did the math wrong.
What was
Oh,
Queen D in?
8. Oh, he's in the 8 personal year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I carry one too many ones. So you're in the 8 personal year. So look at all this 8 energy. And I suspect that might even have something to do with that 8 keys chart that I put up earlier. I've had a lot of 8 energy around me lately in general. So that's pretty interesting. You're in the 8 personal year. So really make sure, like I said, go for the gusto. Do not waste this year. Pregnancy cycles, invest and harvest whatever you worked on from 1 to 7. I'm sure it's coming to fruition for you. So make sure you take advantage of that.
Okay, now what about this person born on July the 6th?
All right, so this is another Cancer. So this is a water sign with an earth number. Um, and this person's key days are going to be their key numbers are going to be the 6, 2, and 7. Their key days are going to be Monday and wait, did I say 6, 2, and 7? Their key days are going to be Friday and Monday all the time. They are in a 4 personal year. So in a 4 personal year, it's all about work. It's all about kind of refining your foundation, looking over your plans, whatever you started in 1. You've gone up through 3 where you've had some expansion and maybe a little fun in 3. So now 4 is the time to kind of hanker down on that and really take stock of your dotting your I's and crossing your T's, sort of speak. Get yourself a schedule, be methodical about what you're doing, and just kind of make sure your contracts are all in order and all that kind of stuff. And prepare yourself and put the work in because you have a reward coming next year with your 5 personal year.
Excellent. What about the official Quintessence music page?
I love that name.
Yeah.
I love that name. So the official Quintessent music page, you are in a 6 personal year. So in a 6 personal year, it's kind of about home, family. You're probably doing more things with the family. Um, you know, Maybe balancing out things with your career and your community. You may be working on your home, making it more beautiful. You may go back to school this year, change your hair. Um, you know, do some redecorating. That's that type of energy with a 6 personal year. Also, you are a 3 person. So you're very expressive, um, creative. You are a Sagittarius 3, fire sign, fire number. So
Mhm.
that's a lot of fire. Um, that tells me that you're very passionate, proactive. You're an ambitious doer. And that's what your energy gives here. So your key days are going to be the 3, 6, and 9. And your key number was your key numbers. I'm sorry. Your key numbers are the 3, 6, and 9, and your key days are always going to be a Thursday, Friday, and Tuesday. So take advantage.
I get a little tongue tied myself at times, so welcome to being human.
A lot.
This is Katrina Johnson, May 10th.
Okay, May 10th. So May 10th, this is a Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Taurus 1. So you are a earth sign with a fire number. Again, that stable, passionate discipline. That earth and fire, when it comes together, it's a passion. Like if you find your niche, and you hanker down in your niche, it's a stable passion that can take you so far. So really hone in on that. You are also in a 6 personal year. So it's really the same advice. You're probably, coming down and winding down from your last 5 personal year where you were maybe traveling a lot. You maybe had a lot going on with your career. You maybe had a lot of public things going on, a lot of parties last year. And so this year is to kind of chill out and deal with your family and make sure everything's good on the home front. People will probably be coming to you for advice this year also. And let's give you your key numbers. So your key numbers are going to be this is a nice challenge. So your key numbers are the 1, 4, and 6, and I mean, sorry, the 1, 4, and 9, and your key days are always going to be a Sunday and Tuesday.
Queen Bee, you're very good. You're very
Thank
good.
you.
Tell you
Thank
right.
you. I learned from the best.
Galen is July 31st, a Leo, like you, but on the very
Oh,
beginning end of July of Leo.
yes. So you're a Leo, so you are a fire sign with an air number. So that's a very favorable Leo. That means you have passionate, proactive, intellectual, methodical thinking. That is your astronumeric descriptor with that fire in that air. You're a number 4 person. So number 4 people are very methodical. They like to be different, very visionary. Um, so go back, Lloyd. What was the birthday again? Let me just
July
7/31.
31st, 1985.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I do the addition right to get his
Gotcha.
8 and 3. So he's I believe he's actually an 11 universal year. I mean, 11
Really?
personal year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you would actually be an 11 personal year. So with the 11 personal year, you know, it's kind of like the 2 year, but not, it's bigger, it's like a mission and a purpose year. I don't know what you had going on last year with Seeds You Planted, but this year, usually I would tell people in a 2 personal year, when whatever ideas and kind of things come to you or opportunities, they may not be for immediate use, but not when you're in 11 personal year. This is for immediate use. Whenever you get something, a download or a vision, I want you to write that down right away, and make sure that you're putting that into action, because with that 11 year, it's a lot of purpose in you and a lot of things that whatever you want to get done, this is your time to do it. So you got that fire energy behind you, and also that imaginative energy with that too. So July 31st, your key numbers are going to be the 4, 1, 2, and 7. And your key days are going to be the Sunday and the Tuesday and Monday.
Okay, good.
Sorry,
Now,
Sunday and Monday.
here's another Leo.
Oh, the Leos are, I love you, Leos. We're in the house tonight. You know Leo's rule. So this Leo is a fire sign with a water number. So in contrast, this person is very passionate, proactive, but also a receptive, intuitive analyzer with that 7. Knowledge seeking, always seeking knowledge with that 7 number. Let's see, let me give you your keys and then I'll look at your personal year. So your keys are going to be the 7, 2, 1, and 4. So you have the sun, the moon, and the sun numbers. And your key days are going to be Monday and Sunday in that order. And then let me just do this because I don't want to mess that up. Okay, you are in a 5 personal year. So listen, this is a year probably that you've already seen some dramatic changes, or there's some dramatic changes on the way. Don't miss the opportunity in this 5 year, whatever you've been doing in year 1 through 4. If you didn't like it, whatever you want to tweak or change, this is your magnificent time to do it. It's your time to change trajectory before your cycle ends. So this is your chance. Also, take advantage of the year. It's a career year, maybe different opportunities with your career, or something different and new. And also, it's a travel cycle. So have fun. There's probably going to be a lot of parties you'll be invited to. So have
Yay.
one for me.
Now
I'll be
this
studying.
now this is one of my good buddies and part of the Live with Lloyd family from well over a year. Stephen E. He is born November 17th. What say you about him?
So I say he's a Scorpio 8 person.
Mm-hmm.
So he is a water sign with an earth number. So that's also a very favorable combination, a very nurturing combination. I tell these people they should always have a project or something they're working on, especially he's an 8. So he's probably always working on something, or something that he's interested in. 8s are very philosophical that way, and they tie themselves to their work. So I'm sure he's already doing that with himself. And then I would tell him that his key numbers are the 8, hold on, Scorpio 8. So his key numbers are going to be the 8, 9, and 6.
Perfect.
And his key days are always going to be a Saturday, a Tuesday, and a Friday in that order. Also, Stephen, you're in a 1 personal year. So you're a personal year factor 1 like me. You're a daring trailblazer. So have at it. I mean, everything that you want to go for, this is the year to go for. It's the year to plant your seeds, because this is whatever you plant this year, you're cultivating that for your next 9 years. So just go for it. Make sure it's something that you want to do, something that you're passionate about, and I think you'll be good.
Jamie K, September 18th.
So this is a Virgo 9. So this is also an earth sign. It's an earth sign with a fire number. So that's that passionate, stable, disciplinary energy. Very grounded, practical, but yet passionate, energetic, a doer. He's got that 9 energy. So off the bat, I can tell that you're in a 9 personal year with those numbers for your personal year factor, 9. That means you have the power of cosmic transformation, cosmic manifestation. The universe, you and the universe are in lockstep. You're always in the same tide. So it's up to you. That you're the kind of person, like, if you want it, you'll get it. But if you don't, then you won't. So I tell you to put your work in. You're in a 9 personal year, 9 universal year. Definitely some endings on the horizon. But be patient, be tactful with the way you do things. Use some of that too energy. Don't end things in a bitter way. And be grateful. And do something humanitarian this year or universal. Take it to the next level.
All right. Now, this one is Earth Appears. She is January the 12th, Jeff Bezos' birthday, and a couple other people know.
So that's a Capricorn. That's a Capricorn 3. So this person is an earth sign with a fire number. All this stable, passionate discipline in this room tonight. If you guys, I hope you guys all have a niche, something that you guys love to do, that you just can pour all that stable passion into, because that's where you really become the masters of your domain. And you're a 3 person, so I know you're very ambitious. That's working out well for you. Uh, 13, so you're in a 4 personal year, so maybe a little restrictive this year. You are a 3 person. You had your 3 personal year last year, so I'm sure you were very creative, self-expressive, partying it up last year. This year you got to get back to the drawing board, get back to work, get yourself on a schedule, and get methodical about what you have to do so you can enjoy your next personal year.
All right.
And did I give her numbers? Did I
No,
give her
not
her
yet.
numbers, Lloyd?
What are
I
they?
don't think I did. She's a
No, you
Capricorn.
didn't.
Her key numbers are going to be the 3, 8, and 6. And that means her key days are going to be a Thursday, Saturday, and Friday. And that.
Okay, good. This is Hello Zamar. They October 31st of 92. So what say you
No,
about them?
I would say that they're a Scorpio 4 person. And I would say that they are very maybe receptive, um, sensitive, thinking, methodical thinker, intellectual. Um, Sometimes with that 31, there seems to be like a connotation of a case of, could be like, it you could feel lonely with that 31, even in a room full of people. So you may have some of that energy, especially with the 4. Fours should always watch their moods for despondency. Make sure you keep yourself in an upbeat mood. Number 4 people, and make sure you whatever your work is, get in lockstep with your work, because I think with 4s, they need that work to kind of keep them from being down. And when they feel pride in their work, I think that's what helps to keep them in a healthier mindset. So I always tell number 4s, get passionate about your work and all that kind of stuff. And their key numbers are going to be the 4, 1, and what were they? A Scorpio.
Yes,
Their
October
key numbers are the
31st.
4, 1, and 9. So your
Mm-hmm.
numbers are the 4, 1, and 9. Your key days are going to be Sunday and Tuesday. And let's see, did I give them their year? They're in a 5 personal year. So again, I just the energy never lies. You're probably having a great year. So have at it. Travel, get some new changes with your career. Public speaking. Dealing with the public in some way.
Okay. Now, this is a woman that admired your style, Anisha Flemings, and she is a Pisces 4 person, born March the 4th.
Well, this one's too easy. Hi, Anisha. This is a water sign with an air number. She is very sensitive, intuitive, and very methodical in her thinking. Very intellectual, very smart, very tied to her work in a very good way. She is in a 7 personal year, so she may, be a little introspective this year. She may be going through a little soul searching, depending on what's going on with her. She may not, people might be trying to invite her out, but she may not be feeling it. And that's okay, Niche. You take the time that you need with you and your family. And this year is really not even about your family, it's about yourself. So you take the time, and whatever you need for yourself, you reflect and perfect it, observe the things that happened up to this time, but don't absorb them. Just observe them, don't absorb them, and just do, make your decisions on how you want to move forward.
Okay, now this is
Weather
Raquel.
the storm.
This is Raquel. She's October 16th.
These things are coming in like wildfire, Lloyd. All right, so
You know, it's all my fault, but it's good practice, though. Okay.
it's great practice. Oh, October 16th. I would say that this person is a Libra, um, right? A Libra 7. Um, Let me get her personal. You were in an 8 personal year, madam. So again, I don't, if you're business minded, um, go for it with your business this year. Get those investments going. Change the stock over to the public stock. And I probably shouldn't be telling people that because I don't know anything about stock. But we need Portia on for that. Um,
Yeah.
but make sure that you are taking advantage and reaping a harvest of your last 1 through 7 cycle, because next year you're going to be, maybe faced with some hard decisions on if you want to end some things or do you want to transform some things. And you want to make sure that you are reaping a harvest of this pregnancy cycle so you can manifest all of those things in your next year.
All right. We have Mode 369. They're born on November 19th of 1997 at
So I
2:20
like,
a.m.
well, give them where their sun and all that is, because I can't do that like you, Lloyd. Where would their rising be?
Their son actually would be in the second house.
Okay,
Their son would be in
cool.
the second house, house of possession.
Yeah,
But
Taurus.
so what they are, Scorpio, what?
So they're a Scorpio 1 person. So they're a water sign with a fire number. So I like to explain water sign fire number, a fire sign water number as like that emotional passion, and that can be explosive, right? So if it's blended the right way, you can use that as a passionate, explosive type of energy where you can really combust to get things done. Um, and also you're a 1 person. Let me see what you are. Your key numbers are going to be the 1, 4, and 9. So that means your best days are going to be Sunday and Tuesday.
Okay.
And let me give them their year, Lloyd. All right. This person is in a 3 personal year. So in a 3 personal year, you want to be creative, artistic, tap into your artistic abilities, and just be creative and be self-expressive this year. Not over excessive. Don't be too over excessive though. Watch your excess.
Now remember Queen D, right? She
Yes.
also just added another uh, interesting part. She says, "My name
Yes.
is Deborah," so meaning in Greek means Queen Bee.
Yeah, Deborah means bee. And I know that because I have a cousin and her daughter. They're both named Deborah. She named her daughter after her. And they both have a matching tattoo with their name and a bee there. And so I do know that Deborah means bee. So I think that's amazing. And it's just let you know that energy never lies. And that's why numbers matter.
Now, Jazz, subscribe to your Numeralytics YouTube channel. Is this correct?
Yeah, that looks correct to me. Thank you so much, Jazz.
Yeah, she's the
And
best.
if anybody wants to check out the site, they can check that out at numeralytics.biz. And that's where you can kind of read about me a little bit. And you can also peruse some of our merch. And you can also look at some of the other numerology offerings that I do offer. I do offer a natal numeralytics, which I performed for Anisha. That's why her reading sounded kind of personal. I performed that for her, a natal numeralytics on her son that was born last year. And I also did a form of the natal numeralytics with one of the other people that I did a reading with that said that they got their whole family a reading. I did her 3 kids. So I love reading the kids. I don't go too deep or too, obviously with the kids, I just give the great information that parents need to know so they can have the best relationship with their children.
That makes sense. Now, this is my
Mhm.
buddy here, DS. He's November 6th.
So he's a Scorpio 6 person. This is my nephew's birthday. So he is a water sign with the earth number. This is a great combination. Again, you should always have a project that you're working on. And as a number 6, you probably do. Number 6s are always doing a self-improvement or some type of something that they're working on, a work in progress. But always have something that you're working on, number 6. Um, with that earth and water, because it's a very nurturing combination. So your key numbers are always going to be the 6, 9, and 3, and your key days are going to be Friday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And you are in an 8 personal year. So hopefully you are reaping the harvest of your 1 through 7 cycle, and really taking advantage of any business acumen that you have coming up. Maybe you're getting engaged this year, divorced, or married, or you're going to birth an idea, or something like that. So have fun and take advantage of your energy.
Well, somebody we know, Shawan, says you're killing it, Queen B.
Thank you, Shawan. Thank you, Queen. Queen's up.
What about TG?
I love that, TG. I'm looking at that TG. All right, so this is May 12th. This is a Taurus 3 person. Another, stable, passionate, disciplinary energy. So TG, I hope you're like a writer, an actor, or an artist in some way. You got that 3 energy. And if you are, use that stable, passionate discipline, that pragmatic, steadfast passion to really hone in on your niche and do what you need to do, and really make sure that you're taking things to the next level. You look to be also in an 8 personal year. Oh my goodness, this 8 energy is all over me. I love it. The ancestors must be on my side, tonight, with all this 8 energy all around. So make sure, again, that you're, reaping the rewards of your harvest. And oftentimes in the 8 personal year, you may also even come up with something in the business line of what you already do, but something that'll be like a legacy lever, something that you can do annually, or it's going to leave a legacy. So don't negate any of that energy. Tap into all of it.
Okay, we're going to do the last one, and this is going to be from Carol Williams, Stevenson's wife. She is born June the 22nd.
Hi, Stephen and Carol Williams. I know you guys are regulars on the show.
Oh, yeah, out of Chicago, Chi-Town.
I know they're your favorite, Lloyd. You always say they're your favorite.
Yeah, well, got to have a partial every now and then.
So your wife, Stephen, is in a 1 personal year. So I would say do not take offense if she's like, babe, I'm doing my own thing. I just need you to, support me and, be there for me. I don't have time to do all this stuff that you need me to do. Give her that time. Give her, give her that space so she can really hone in on what she wants to do and what she loves to do. Give her, and also she's a master number 22. So, she's here to be a master builder, to build something greater for humanity. So just be her rock, stand behind her and be that king that queen needs. And that's a true kings up and queens up couple right there, where they both understand their power, their position, and their purpose. So that's what I would say to her. And with that June 22nd, I mean, she's right there on the cusp. But I would probably say that she is a Gemini, or she is Cancer.
Yeah, she would be Cancer.
She's a Cancer. Okay, so she's right there on the cusp. Sometimes,
and
when you're on the cusp, you never know.
Yeah, and Stephen is a water sign too.
Is he? You never know. So she's a Cancer, and she's a 4 person. So her key numbers are the 4, 1, 2, and 7. She's got sun and moon numbers. So she's very creative. Very, very creative. So imaginative. She may not be as forceful with those ideas, but that's why she has you to help guide her to that. And again, her key days are going to be Monday and Sunday.
Now, this is how people can get in touch with you, I imagine.
Yes. It is.
Okay. So for those of you who would like to get in touch with Queen B, she's an astronumerologist, and you can see she's great at it. Her email is info@imtaylorb.com. Her contact number is 302-492-7722. And its IG is at Taylor B Media. Her YouTube is at Taylor B TV and Numeralytics. This is I think your newer project, right? Numeralytics.
And if I could just say something about that real quick.
Go right ahead.
because we're talking about personal years, so this just rounds up everything really. Again, I told you guys that I started BTV in 2016, which I did, which was the last 9 universal years. So it was my last one personal year, my 9-1 cycle. So throughout this whole cycle of me kind of growing BTV and expanding it and making it mold into what it is, when I got into my when I got into the 8 universal year and the 9 personal year for me, which was last year, I took it to another level, guys. This is what the 9 personal years about. It's about taking it to another level, making it more universal, more for humanity. And that's what I did. I took everything that I'm doing with the community to show and portray a better image of us. And I took it to the next level with metaphysics and spirituality. I kind of call myself a spiritual concierge. And I think of myself as a guide to help guide the community and all the family on planet Earth to their highest selves, understanding their frequency, understanding their cycles, and making sure, not to let it control you, but to be as a guide for you, and also to give you greater understanding of when things may not be what you want them to be.
Well, what's interesting, Steven says, thank you, spot on, been pushing her to do her thing as of late.
Great. Keep on her.
That's nice. That's nice.
I
That's
love
nice.
it. Kings and queens up to you both.
That's nice. Now, this is how people can get in touch with you. Your Cash App there is Cash App $BTV79.
Yes.
All right. Also, I do want to put up some other things for you too, so people know that this is how you prepare the charts. It's very detailed. You break it down. Of course, this was for a person born on January the 26th, like Eartha Kitt and a couple of, in fact, a couple other people were born on this day. One of my favorite singers, the sister, I'll think of her name in just a moment. But it's so when people get their key chart, this is what it would look like. They will have their birthday, then they'll have these kind of descriptions laid out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so this chart in itself is your astronumeric chart, right? So at the top where it says keys, it'll have your name there, and it'll have all your information, whatever it is, your planets, and then we start with your and that's your astronumeric descriptor. That's when you heard me saying you're this. So with this person, they're a logical thinking, focused, steadfast pragmatist. They have that 8 individual frequency for their birth number. So that's a power, finance, business, philosophical number. So it just gives you your kind of guide, right, to hold with you all the time. But it also comes with, like I said, the whole write-up where it explains it to you, because if you hand somebody this, they won't know what to do with it. So it does have to come with a write-up. It comes with a guide and instructions on how to use these things. And it's a very in-depth reading that I do with the person. It's a video reading that they can go back to and look at anytime they so please. They have the write-up and they have their keys chart that they can keep in their phone, or they can print it out for their office. And it's a beautiful chart. I think it's
Well, you
aesthetically
would know it
beautiful.
too, so I know how you do details. Twos are very
Yes.
details, the way they do things. But I was thinking of Anita Baker. That's her birthday too,
Oh,
January.
Anita Baker. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And those charts have evolved. They've evolved over my journey. I've gotten better at them and really honing in on exactly the great things that I want to make sure that are on there. That give the family a good way to go. It gives you a good way to go. It's a great
now,
start.
now you are giving a 20% discount until Jazz Aphrodite's birthday. Her birthday's on the 20th of April.
Yes, happy early birthday, Jazz. Yes, I'm giving a discount until April 20th for 20% off.
That makes sense, 20%.
Yeah.
And also, not to be outdone, you do have a clothing line too, where people can get t-shirts and whatnot as well.
Yes. Yes, this is my clothing line is besmartclothing.com. So all of the stuff y'all heard me saying is a clothing line. So Kings Up, you see the Queens Up and Kings Up, those are the pillows, but you see the Queens Up t-shirt up the top. We have all various colors and sizes. We have the We Are the Bag Black American Greatness shirts. We got the Royalty Rules, where you see the purple, respect, uplift, love, and support. And that crown has a royalty in it. So the merch is there. It's 20% off for the family until April 20th. If you go to the site, besmartclothing.com, you just type in live live with Lloyd fam 20 and you'll get the discount at checkout.
So what's the code to check out?
On the clothing line, it's LWL fam 20.
Yeah, but you said the checkout code should be live with Lloyd fam.
Yeah. If you put the clothing one back up, Lloyd, because this
Oh,
one they can just
got you.
yeah, it's LWLFAM 20.
Okay, good. Okay, got you.
Yep.
Got
So
you.
the
Okay.
code's on there. And
Okay.
you can keep showing that however you want because people, this is for your audience, so they have it until April 20th. I invite them to go, there's a lot of different things on the site that you can pick from.
And I do want to thank you very, very much, Queen Bee, for sponsoring Live with Lloyd, Numbers in You. I'm very honored, very, very honored that you would do this. So thank you very, very much. Okay.
Oh, please, Lloyd, the honor's all mine.
Anyway, thank you. You have a blessed day.
Thank you.
We're going to mention on Wednesday that it'll be later this weekend when she will do this feature on Frances Cress Welsing, probably one of the most dynamic psychologists, futurists, innovator. I had the pleasure of meeting her. I went in a snowstorm, and I don't go to see nobody in a snowstorm, but I went to see her. I'm so glad I did. And she
I would have did it too. Yep, I would have did that too for her.
Yeah, and I don't go nowhere in a snowstorm, but for her,
yeah, I know that's right, number 7.
I did, and it was worth it. It was really, really worth it. She's a great woman. And for those of you, if you want to get her recordings that went for years, I think it's about close to 1,000 recordings she's did. There's one gentleman, and I might bring him on at some point later in the year. His name is Danny Queen. He's a poet, but he is also a documentarian, and he's documented Dr. Ben, Neely Fuller. I mean, all the great men and women that we know, he documented them. So he's like a walking gold mine of documentaries, like Clemson Brown here in New York City, the late Clemson Brown, I should say. But thank you very, very much, Queen Bee, and you have a blessed. Okay.
Queens and kings up to the family. Peace.
All right. So everybody, I do want to thank you very, very much. And I do need to let you know before I sign off, and I got to thank my sponsor for today, Jazz Aphrodite. And the shows have been brought to you by, hold up, let me go back. All right. Here we go. It is brought by You Juice. And all you got to do is go to liveitstore.com to order them. And you get all the juices there in 3 delicious flavors. And when the chill is on it, I mean, it's great. My only complaint is the bottle should have been larger. I mean, it's a nice size, okay? Don't get me wrong. But it is so good. You kind of like, I need a little bit more. So get it from there. Also, I do want to thank Nicholas Brooklyn at 1396 Fulton Street and here in New York City, that has one of the most amazing cultural stores. As I said, I dare you to try to go in there and walk out without buying something. It's got one of those kind of energies. It's really nice. And this Saturday, she will be featuring Queen Afua, a woman I've been knowing for decades, literally. She is a queen. Speaking of queens, this is a queen right here too, Queen Afua. And that's always been her name ever since I knew it in the early 80s, Queen Afua. And nothing has changed. And so she's exhibiting those qualities. So please join her. And then also I do want to thank Miss Kimberly of Manifest on Purpose. She does the weekly wisdom, astronumerology reveal, Manifest on Purpose and whatnot. And she's also evolving into the business section. For those of you who wish to set up a business, but using more the ancient art of astrology and numerology, that is exactly what her forte is. And she's very good at it. And of course, also I thank Queen Bee with Numbers Matter, who is taking it upon herself. By the way, I do want to let you know the April forecast. The April forecast actually came out today. All right. So for those of you who subscribe, which is absolutely free, it should be in your emails. All right. Also, for those of you who want to listen to the April forecast, you're going to have to wait until 9 p.m. tomorrow. So just read the newsletter and then you can do it. I stretch out when I do the talking part. And so this is it here. Also, what I've decided to do, and so many people have called and or try to get in on the comment section and can't get everybody in. And I don't see it until after the show. And then when I look through the whole list of comments, I'm starting this month a open session, rather. It's a power series, but it's open session. So for those of you who want to get readings, couldn't get through, like to find out about numerology, click on that QR code to join us. It's going to be limited seating, okay? But I will begin to answer all of your questions. There's a small fee, but it'll give me a chance. So when we do the series, like when I've had Queen B on this evening, you know, we could all go in depth. If you've ever heard Jazz Aphrodite do it, she stretches out too. But all of us go in depth. Well, this will allow me to get with you so I'm not rushed by time or anything and go in depth with each and every one of you. So I suggest that you sign up for the open series that's going to be on the 20th. Then 2 days later, I'm going to be doing a 4-week course on palmistry. And you'd be surprised the nature of the hand, what it does, what it reveals. So, for example, this gives you a sample. If you look at this hand, it is not a normal hand. And I will be teaching you things. It's going to be an introductory course to numerology and how it works. I mean, palmistry, I should say, and how it works. And then if people like the course, then maybe I'll do something intermediate or advanced. But you'll be finding out, why are these nails like that? What does that mean? Okay. Why does this person have 6 fingers? And see, so there's a lot that I'm going to be showing you, a lot about the thumb and all the parts of the hand that you might take for granted. But the hand does more than just hold and grab and feed you and caress and hug your babies and every now and then shake hands or whatnot. It does a lot. And so that's what this is going to do. Please click on the QR code to join me. That will be on the 22nd of this month. All righty. So I guess that's it for right now. I do want to thank everybody. Wednesday, I'm going to have the expert on cardology, Nina Diamond. She's written about 5 books that we're going to be talking about. She's also created a 2025 cardology planner. So it'll be a pleasure to have her on and talk about it, because I was introduced to her a couple of years ago and I had no idea the nature of cards the way she does it, but she will be my guest this coming Wednesday. So everybody, I do want to thank you very, very much. I want you to all have a nice day. And I got to thank my very special guest, Queen B. They really stung it tonight, okay? Pardon the pun. Everybody, you'll have a blessed day. See you on Wednesday. Bye.